Here's the thing. Sometimes it's not the dream life you're trying to get to right away. Sometimes you need space until you get to your dream life. There's a big gap between survival mode and dream life, and we don't talk about that middle piece enough. There's actually a big bridge in that middle piece. It's the foundational piece. Sometimes you just need a job to get you to a space where you have autonomy to create the dream life, to work towards building what your ideal days would look like, to experience creating what the career pivot will be. You don't always just go from soul sucking job to dream life. Now, we've heard a few people be able to do it up, quit, take the lead. Maybe they had an emergency fund. Maybe they had certain circumstances that allowed them to do it. Or maybe their back was against the wall and they didn't have that. And guess what? It worked out for them. Well, that didn't work out for me because I tried it a couple months ago. When I went through a job transition months ago, I threw my hat in the ring to start my entrepreneurial journey, and it was okay. It taught me things about myself that I did not know, and it showed me that I actually can do something. I can create and build a business in 30 days, but it wasn't in alignment with the way that I wanted it to really be. So I paused it out of how I felt, out of sheer obedience, and I'm like, "All right, Lord, we'll come back to this." But this is such a special project. It's such a special task and a special gift. It's actually for the, in a sense, for the cancer community, and I will just have to revisit it at another time because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Fast forward to today. When we have this dream life in mind, which is so beautiful, sometimes you need space to build up to what you really want to experience. When you sit down and think about what could allow me to breathe, what could allow me to thrive in this very season. And I've sat down with that. And something that I realize is that you can still find jobs that are in alignment with what you desire and how you need your days and times to be. It's actually not far fetched. And being a woman now, where I've made six figures more times than I haven't, I actually realize now, even to say that, and I know that's been like a term for quite some time, the six-figure job and blah, blah, blah. But it really is the number that can create comfort and space in your life right now for you to be above surviving, but still be thriving, and gives you autonomy to not be in scarcity mode. The goal is to not feel scarcity or frantic where you are kind of acting out of an irrational survival space to try to hurry up and do something. We want mindfulness, we want ease, and we still want flow. And girl, I know that job is draining you. Trust me, I get it because same, sis. Same. When it's not in alignment, it feels 10 times harder to commit. And one of my faves, a mentor in my head, my leak Teal, if you will, one of her podcasts, she said, and I believe it was along the lines of commitment feels expensive when you can't see the reward of it, when you can't see what's on the other side of it. And that may be me paraphrasing, but it's so true. It does feel expensive because you're putting in your hat in the ring, you're putting in your ducks in a row, like they're all in one basket, and you don't know the outcome of what it is that you're trying to do. You only know you got a hope and a dream. Or, like my one video said, while you're stuck between the journal and a dream. I'll have to tag that here. It feels expensive because it's costing you an exchange of energy, of intention, of creativity, of time, and you don't know what the reward is going to be. You don't know what your ROI is going to be on the investment. And I get that. I've been there. I've felt that many times more than I haven't. But the commitment of staying, I think, costs even more because it's taking more than what it's giving us. And at some point, you got to get honest about that, and you got to start working on your exit strategy, because I'm not telling you to quit, but I'm telling you to plan and to create a plan that's going to allow your next move to be a bridge to the ultimate move that we really want, right? Because there's only but so many more jobs we can keep applying for that, like I said before, are going to be different paycheck, same job, just a different paycheck, a higher paycheck. But when you can find that next job that's a bridge to the dream, to the vision, it allows you to flow and still create and still show up and still learn and still develop and connect and prepare and be in your assignment, be in the room. You never know how God is going to position you. But the difference between a job that is not taking everything from you, your energy, your time, is tremendous. And I know this because I've had this a few times within these past couple years. And it truly did wonders for my mental health. I felt so good. It made me want to show up. And it felt nice to have like even that reliability of like that consistent income. Wow, I did other things on the side. Wow, I launched other products. Wow, I dabbled in coaching. Wow, I started grad school. It gave me space, it gave me autonomy. Like the things, the way that I could up and leave and travel and move around was just like so profound. And all I needed to do was take my laptop with me. I wasn't micromanaged. I didn't have anyone checking for me. I had meetings with my clients. Everything just flowed so well. And I mean, I couldn't have asked for like a better setup. I had my luxury apartment. I had spoiled myself and treated myself a little bit because I had went through the cancer thing, right? And I'm like, okay, it was one of those, I don't know, probably similar effects to like if a millionaire get a lot of money, he may go out and buy a Lamborghini. I don't know, I don't know. I haven't lived that life yet. But for me, it was one of those things where it's like, girl, you done face mortality. Girl, head on? Oh no, we gotta what like get me out this box. We gotta move around a little bit more. Like, girl, what have you been waiting for? It was one of those things. Like, Renee, what have you legit been waiting for? And that's when it finally hit me that I had been, man, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't expect to get emotional. That's when it hit me that I had been living in survival mode for such a long time, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the perfect time, trying to increase my income, bouncing around, trying to just get my feet on the ground and get stable. So when I went through breast cancer and came out on the other end, yeah, I splurged. I balled out for sure a little bit. I saved. I paid my car off. I made some really good moves. But man, it was just like, wow, what have I been doing? Why has life been so hard like this? Survival mode is something, man. Survival mode would try to keep you in a chokehold. And it's crazy how many of us don't realize we're in it until we either get out of it or we hear something that resonates with us that sounds like us. And it's like, oh my God, that's been me. That's been me the whole time. Wow, that's what that's called? Man, like legit fighting for your life. And having a taste of life after cancer, that freedom I had, my unicorn job. Oh my gosh. Bonusing 20,000 every 2 months, 3 months, like on top of making great money. I was like, wow, this is the ease that they've been talking about. This is what they mean when they say making money is actually easy. Now, I haven't made those numbers off of an entrepreneurial anything yet, so I'm not speaking from that standpoint. Quiet. But I'm speaking from the standpoint of what I've been able to do in corporate America. and that there are jobs with good companies and good employers that you can work and still thrive. You can work and still find a form of alignment for yourself. You can work and still show up at your kids' baseball games. You can work and still lead your Bible study group. You can work and not feel exhausted at the end of the day when you log out of that laptop. And if you do have a moment of exhaustion, it's not as heavy because you actually feel and know that you're appreciated. You actually are a part of a corporation that not only do they do good work, but they show you how much you're valued. I mean, my job took us on an all expense paid trip to California. What part were we in? Santa Monica. Is that where the pier is? I think that's where we were. Stayed in the most beautiful hotel, ate, lived, just, it was amazing. So when I tell you these things, I'm not telling you from a dream and a hope and a wish. I'm telling you from the reality of what my life has been the past 4 years. So, going through career changes and taking this position I did a month ago that just doesn't align with me is like, oh no, we got to get back to what we need. And I understand that. Okay, sit down, mamas. Sit. Come on, place. I love her so much. She's so sweet. Come on, place. We got to get back to what we need. And like, I understand that corporate may not be your end goal, right? Because it's not my end goal. My end goal is so whimsical. I'll probably share it in another video. I understand that's probably not yours, but the bridge of the foundation until you get to your dream job, we can make that a time to be alive. I mean, imagine your days where you still wake up with flow and ease and autonomy over your morning, where you're headed into a beautiful space or office that is just gorgeous. People welcome you. You never know what to expect in the day. You're dealing with powerful women or men that are movers and shakers. I don't know, in your community or, whatever, philanthropy, I don't know, whatever that could look like. Your voice is heard. Your leadership doesn't, quiet you. They actually welcome your ideas and your thoughts. The team actually works together because they care and they want you to win. And it's a supportive, healthy environment. And then y'all paying me to show up and like be a part of this and welcome my thoughts and welcome my creativity and welcome my skills and my knowledge. And then you're opening a door for me to be around people where that can all grow times 10 and y'all are paying me to be here. Like, and unlimited PTO. And even if it's not unlimited, something that's still good. Okay. No, it's not nothing that's like little stringy and dinky because it's 2026. Some of y'all companies needed to get it together. If you're watching this, thank you. Um, but that is what that like, that's the vibe. That's what, what's that little saying? You know what? Hell yeah. Like, absolutely. And then I get off work on time at 5 o'clock. And then I get to go home, don't have a far commute at all. I could even walk and relax with my puppy and work on my business and still have energy to hang out with my dog, energy to go to dinner with my girlfriend, energy to do FaceTime dates and catch up with a friend, energy to play with your kids, energy to read them a bedtime story, energy. You still have energy. Those are the types of positions that we need to be seeking and putting ourselves in until you can do your dream life, until you have the money saved up, until you are where you need to be. I know there's two types of leaps you can take, but the biggest leap is the mindful leap that's in alignment with what God has you to do, regardless. Because I could yap and talk about this all day long, but we want to do things within the Lord's guidance. You can take the leap off faith. You could take the leap off preparation. Neither is wrong. It's whatever you need to do. That's the ultimate understanding. It's whatever you need to do. You know your breaking point better than anybody else. But this is the thing. We self abandon so heavy and so hard that we ignore our breaking point. We ignore the signs. We keep pushing through. We ignore the heart palpitations. We ignore the anxiety. We ignore the pit in our stomach when we're pulling up. We ignore before we got to turn the car off and walk into the building. We ignore all of that. We ignore seeing the boss that we don't even love to see because you know she gives you a hard time. We ignore all of that. The push through, the fake nodding, the being quiet and not contributing to the conversation because you know they're not going to change anything that you have to say anyways, and they're just only asking because they have to. They don't really mean it. We ignore all of that. Working 20 or 30 minutes late, which then made you an hour late for the thing that you really had to do. And now you feel a little spiteful and you feel like, dang, you took time from me that I'm not going to get back. And you don't even care because all you do is take anyways. What? We ignore all of that. We have got to stop self-abandoning. Why do you think, are you a punching bag? Because baby, let me tell you something. Do not put me in the ring with Floyd because where's the bell? Ding, ding. Get me out. Get me out. I don't know. Does this thing lift up or like, how do we get out of here? I'm not no punching bag and you're not about to be punching on me. So why do we let the jobs treat us like a punching bag? But you're not going to let nobody else treat you like that, or are you? Because if you are, then that's a bigger problem. That's a bigger conversation for another day. Why do we let these jobs treat us like a punching bag? Why do we let these jobs treat us like a punching bag? Why do we think we got forever? And if you're saying, Renee, it ain't that deep, it is that deep. It is that deep. And trust me, I've become a very lighthearted woman where I don't take much seriously. But one thing that I don't play about anymore is me. Because guess what? My coworkers couldn't do those 25 rounds of chemo. They couldn't do those shots and injections. They weren't wearing the wig. Their eyebrows were still attached. They didn't do the double mastectomy. They didn't do the reconstructive surgery. They not a part of the fake titty club that I know of. But I mean, hey, okay, to each his own. They didn't do all that. They didn't have to lose the weight, hire the trainer, run those laps, feel exhausted. They weren't waking up at 6 a.m. meeting me in the gym, trying to get the weight off that I gained from chemo. They weren't there wiping my tears when I cried at night. They weren't there getting all the shots and injections. They weren't. They didn't feel the nausea. Nobody did. That was me. That was me. So why would I let you treat me however you want to treat me like a punching bag? Why do I not see the value in myself? Because when something goes down and on with me, I got to handle that. I feel that. Our body feels that. Our health, that's no joke. So what is it going to cost and what does it take? We got to create the action plan. And maybe that's the next video. We got to work on the action plan because the exit plan is what's going to get you to the next step. Because we need ease, we need flow, we need alignment, we need comfort, and you need to know that it is out there. There are jobs that have it, there are companies that have it, there are positions that have it. And guess what? You deserve it. Who? If not you, then who? If not now, then when? I feel like I could get that tatted on me. Low-key been thinking about getting, I don't know, a little situation right here. I don't know. Every day, some days I'll be having those days where it's just like, girl, just leap. Just leap. What if that was like yo mantra for the year? Girl, just leap. Just leap. Imagine how free flowing you would be. That is so bomb. I feel like I'm legit going to be a very interesting therapist. I feel like I am going to be such an interesting therapist. Oh, sometimes it's just like, girl, you really becoming one, huh? I don't know, y'all. Tell me what your thoughts are. Like, tell me how you think I'd be as a therapist. Would you hire me or would you not? And keep it real. I appreciate it. So tell me, what leap are you taking? Meet me in the comments. Let me know what leap you're taking. Let me know where you're at in the exit strategy. Let me know what you're no longer putting up with because you are not a punching bag. And if you stayed for this whole video, I need to see I am not a punching bag in the comments. That's how I know it's love. That's how I know it's real. So, until the next video, friends, if you don't know who I am actually Renee. Renee. I'm Renee. I create conversations that bring you home to yourself, heal, and give you permission to choose yourself over and over and over and over again. And if you didn't know, I'm in my second year of grad school to become a clinical mental health therapist. And every now and then I may cry. So I won't cry on you though. Not on you. Not in the session. Just I guess here on YouTube apparently. Oh man, that's real. I felt that. Thank y'all for holding space for my tears, by the way. I didn't expect that to hit me like it did. But I've grown to be I don't play about life. Nah, I don't play about life. And my number one reason for becoming a therapist is to help people experience joy on earth, to help people live a more joy-filled life. And I hope you feel that through these videos, through our conversations, through these moments, through the vulnerability or the words that I share. I hope that's felt, because if that's not, I'm doing something wrong. But that's my number one goal, and I want to help you get there. So I appreciate you for being here. All right, y'all. Until next video, peace out. Will the millennials ever give up the peace sign? Question of the day. And it's probably a no.